back. Like
Yo, I can't hear you.
you can't hear me.
You hear me? Nod your head.
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't hear you.
Live and yo, man. What the blood? Come
Can't
on,
even hear
son. What are you talking about? Man, hold up.
We always trying something new over here.
Yo, you hear me now?
I
No?
still can't hear you.
Oh, for heaven's
Nope.
sake. You know what? Hold up, man. Oh boy.
Oh man.
What yo, can
This,
you hear me now?
even though you moved to the other side, I still can't hear you.
Yo, this is ridiculous. Oh my god. Yo, man. Hold up. I can't take it.
Unbelievable.
Yo. Yeah,
Oh
yes.
man,
Good
let me see
morning.
something. Nope,
Somebody.
everything is good on my end. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Yo,
I'm
man.
sure the world can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Yo, hold up, man. Hold up, man. This
I have to get good at this sign language, reading lips and stuff. You know what I
yo,
mean?
man. This is out of control, man. This is
Oh
completely
man,
out
see?
of control.
Yep. Oh man, it's all good though. This is what we do on Saturdays. We keep our life entertaining by trying things so we can see what works. Because once we figure out what works and we streamline it all, it's just a matter of just oversight and tweaking, right? And,
Okay.
I think James started to allude to some of these things in the other thing we were trying, right? It's all a part of business development. How to
Oh,
understand things, how to try. You have to try. If you don't take risk, um, if you don't, find some courage within yourself, you'll never be able to expect or achieve what's greater than what we think. Because a lot of times what we see, we limit to what we think based off of our limited sight. We can only see over the horizon, but so far, then we limit that mentality, right? So we having
that's
fun with
true.
this right now. This is not even a problem. I mean, we're gonna get it right, folks. Don't worry about it. So we can give you guys our Saturday banter together. But this is all a part of the process. So in growing the business and trying to figure out some things and you know
Yeah.
have fun
So
with it.
I
So
know we're getting
while
some
we
evidence,
can't hear you.
and she can hear both of us.
Still can't. you know, this is the second time, but the first time was different, right? But now it's like whatever.
Yeah, this is out of control, man.
I don't know. Maybe you have some questions for me. You want to ping them on the screen and I'll answer the questions. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's what
And
I
then we
might
could
have
do.
to
We got
do.
to do what we had to do before and flip. So you can say your part. Whatever. Let's have fun with it. you know.
Okay. All right. So she can hear both of us. I don't know what's going on. This is bananas. All right. So, but
Matter
to
of
prove
fact,
the
is
point.
this to like talk about? Oh, you're talking. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah.
I
So
don't want to talk over you, sir.
yeah,
Hold on. Red light, green light.
yeah. So yo, this is the craziest thing ever. I mean, I'll tell you, man. Look. Okay, hold up. I'm trying to see what would be good if I could get a transcript up here. Um, let's figure this out here. So I'm gonna put. Let's see if you can see this. Hold up. You know what? I got the answer.
You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. I got you. 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 That's what I'm about to do.
I think you about to do what I was about to do.
That's what I'm about to do.
So, but all I can say to this is, everyone, in anything, business, road trip, anything, something is bound to happen. Even with the best.
There we go.
Something is bound to happen. There we go. You're a little delayed. Even with the best. Yeah, with the best intentions. So it's going down. It's probably gonna reverb when you talk. Yeah, this is out of control, man. And then, you know, also, do you still have the Melon tab open? So that might be it too. Taking some of the sound, who knows? Yo. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's on. Got him in the headphones. You on a little tape delay, like you overseas or something. Like, you know. And now we lost your audio. Oh, hold up. Yeah, try now.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we in the building.
Yeah, it's just a little tape delay. That's all.
Oh, 11:18 and we in the building still. Look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Now we good, huh?
Yeah, we reached for the stars and we got to the mountaintop. Okay.
That's beautiful. All right. So 11:20 Eastern Standard Time. The funny part is the funny part. You know why this happened, right? Because
we over here we had our production meeting yesterday and we decided we're gonna try new things. and we having this meeting after hours. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly why this happened. There's no other reason. And then, oh my goodness. All right, man. So look, we're gonna skip the pleasantries and get here. So today's show, if you saw the little preview and the lead-in, today we want to talk about the muscle, building your sales muscle, building the sales muscle of your business. That's today's topic. And couldn't do it without this our esteemed colleague here, because it's a Q&A with him. It's a Q&A with him, and we couldn't even get you on. Okay, no problem. It's all good. So, all right, I gotta calm down because this is just hilarious. So anyway, so today we want to talk about sales, business development, things like that. Shoot your questions in. You know, you want to go in there. Like I was saying earlier in one of these takes, that sales without sales, you don't have a business. So you gotta have sales. And unfortunately, small business owners don't put it in a system. They don't have a systematic way of approaching sales, whether they're selling hot dogs or they're selling $1 million homes or whatever they got going on. Well, $1 million homes, they might, but still, you know, some people get lucky. But people usually don't think about sales as a system. They think about it in terms of, I'm going to do marketing and people are going to come in. And there's more to it than that. So today, with Cortastic, the salespreneur over here, we said, hey, I'm going to ask the questions today, and he's going to be interviewed. So we're off to a great start right now. So yes, Mr. Cortastic, how are you today? Now that we finally.
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's a beautiful Saturday, man. You know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I've been up since 4:45 a.m.
Wow. Maybe we should have done the technical test. Maybe that would have been maybe that, But anyway, so and incidentally, they are not a sponsor of this show, but look, I just wanted to talk about this real quick. This has nothing to do with nothing, all right? But
All right.
yeah, I went to get some cups the other day, and usually I go to Dollar General or something like that, man. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be dropping names like that, but whatever. All right, go to Dollar General. But I was in Food Line and I saw these things. The ball, like the mason jars. They make these.
Yeah.
They make these recycled aluminum cups, dude. Yo, you see the
Really?
sweat coming off it to keep the stuff
Yeah,
cold.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
like this is.
Yeah.
And for some of our listeners out there that accuse me of being a cup hoard, same cup for 3 days. I haven't changed cups at all. Well, part of it because they ain't cheap. But I mean they cheap.
Yeah.
But I just thought
Yeah.
I would put that out there for because it's summertime. You might be at the cookout, small cookouts. You can't get these like if the whole family and the crew coming over because you'll go broke. And people will be like,
Yeah.
first of all, you'll be that person asking, look, you need to put your name on the cup because these cups not cheap and people will be trying to just go get a new cup every time and you're going to be uptight. So don't do that. Uh-oh, we lost Corey. See, this is what I'm saying. This is the greatest episode of all times. So, and in the middle of it, I figured I would just let plug that in to know. So, man, he fell off. It's all good. But I was getting ready. I can keep it rolling because this is what we want to talk about business development. So the first part is that the Oxford Language Dictionary. That's the Oxford Language. Well, let's see if you can hear me. I don't know what iteration you can hear me in, but the Oxford. I was just I was moving on with the regular schedule programming.
Got you.
This is like the greatest episode ever right now.
Word.
This is our best episode yet. So, right? so, but we we're gonna get to business development. And I took the Oxford Language Dictionary, and they define business development as the activity of pursuing strategic opportunities for a particular business or organization. For example, by cultivating partnerships or other commercial relationships, or identifying new markets for its products or services. So I wanted to start with that to kind of give a baseline and then ask you in your terms, how do you describe business development?
Business development. Let me start off by saying it's realizing that you'll never find or achieve any success in your own comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Right? So
you got like your own language. Was that a full stop? Like that's all I got. Like
it's business development is not a destination. And I think my experience in life, working for companies and being a part of groups and until I forged my own way is you can easily get comfortable with destinations. And business development is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a continuous journey. Because the end is the end when the lights are completely out, right? Whether the shop is completely closed or, it's your time to move on to greater pastures, right? So business development is, like I said, it's about the journey. It's nonstop. So with that said, limiting beliefs. So you're running a business, vision, mission, product, service, target market, so on and so forth. Okay, you may have success when you start your business. You may have you're definitely going to have some ebbs and flows, some peaks and valleys along the way. You'll probably get to a point where your back is up against the wall and you're like, well, how do I move out of this. And in a lot of cases, people will get comfortable with their business, how it's moving forward, the generating revenue, bills, debt, so on and so forth. And it's not until they get backed up against the wall, then they need to begin to say, how do I change this, right? So the essence of business development is to always have a working plan, right? Have your basic guts, have your framework, but always continuously ask yourself, what do we need to do next? Because I think it's about being proactive, because you got to be able to have foresight, right? Especially in the industries that you're working in. Things are always changing. If you look at, there's multiple things that's changing now these days. Technology is taking over a little bit more. Our economy is really in shambles. The world is in shambles all over the place. And we're not 6 degrees separated from that activity. It may not be directly in our backyard, so we feel it, the effects or the impact immediately, but it still impacts us. So how do we prepare for that along the way? And then the other piece to that is, as a business owner, entrepreneur, CEO, whatever hat you decide you want to call yourself or wear, you have to make sure that you take care of your people. Because if you have staff, employees, outsourcing, you have to always be driving the movement forward to prepare for those pitfalls, because the people that work for you, their head is down. They may not see or understand your vision, right? Their head is down. So you still have to not only provide light, but you got to provide sight. Right? And then you got right. No, I'm just going off of how, my experience through working in business and sales, because sales is the essence of everything. If you don't have sales, you don't have a business. But it doesn't stop there, So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm building on what you're saying.
Okay.
So where we're getting to is that, so business development, and even the definition I took from the Oxford Language Library.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Was it was grand. Oh, it was big. It wasn't specific.
Right.
It was like, it's the activity of pursuing strategic opportunities for a particular business or organization.
Yeah, a whole bunch of noise, right? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. But the term is used interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
People say, I mean, even I struggle sometimes, like, should it just be sales? With us, like, I'll say, well, sales, is that what we do? Should it be sales?
No, I never liked just the word sales by itself.
Yeah, I don't like that neither. Yeah, sales is I'm like, can I put you in this car? Like it's sales. I'm on you, or what's up, my man? I got cats selling batteries on the train, or underwear or something on the street. Like,
well, let me add to that, because that's the outside, right?
Yeah.
Let me give you the inside of a sales thought process. When you just say sales and you just sales, there is a wall that comes up. So, for example, if you're an organization and you have salespeople and you say, yo, go out there and sell, they don't care about what happens after the sale unless you tie their metrics to what happens after the sale. Right?
Their money.
Their money, their metrics, their money, right? Yeah. So with sales, that's why sales for me is, I may have been in sales, but I've never just accepted the word sales, because I look at it holistically. What the front end is offering, the middle has to deliver, and the back end has to support. So it's a whole business development organizational approach, because if I'm the front facing for sales, guess what? Anybody in production, anybody in customer support, management, they're all my partners when I'm dealing with this one particular client. And if they don't do their job, it's an effect on me, right? Because I'm the front facing, or the salesperson is the front facing for origination of that relationship.
No doubt. So that leads us I mean, you kind of answering the you started answering the next question, which since we've had so much technical difficulty, I'm trying something new here. Why not go all out? So
Yeah.
I'm putting it up here. I'm gonna ask what are the components of business development, and you started touching upon it. That even beyond what I was planning to cover or ask.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saying really the components of business development are everything. Like it's not like business development is a holistic thing, and I've never actually heard it put in those terms. That it's a holistic discipline that includes all the functions of the business. That
It is.
so so arguably everybody in your business is in business development.
Yes, everybody. I'm talking about down to the person that changed the garbage at the
Yeah,
front door. Because if
yeah,
your client, if customers are walking in the door and the front area is a disgrace, right? And if
mhm.
garbage is smelling bad, they're gonna go because what our senses are the ones that drive our emotional decision to buy
Yeah.
anything. Walk in a place that
Mhm.
smell bad, you're like, oh, I'm not even going in there, I'm leaving. Right. So all of those things are important when it comes to the business development. So the other components is, it's obviously you got sales, you got lead qualification, marketing, revenue growth, operational growth, finance, HR. It's so
Yeah,
many, but you can, you know what I mean? But you can compartmentalize a lot of that.
yeah. But the core components, I guess to make it to streamline it, um, it goes around lead generation, lead qualification if need be, marketing, which starts from marketing to the lead
Your
generation
offer.
and qualification.
So it's your offer, it's your production,
Yeah,
or your offer, deliverables, and support. Those are the three things. Your offer, which is marketing, lead generation, all blah blah blah. Deliverables is onboarding, client engagement, deliverables of whatever product or service,
yeah,
and then
and
support
fulfillment.
if there's questions afterward. Right,
Yeah.
correct.
So that's why I
Correct.
wanted to focus on the offer, the offering, because that's the part where I feel like, um, from my experiences,
Mm-hmm.
a system is rarely built on the offer section of a business. So
Right.
small business owners, that we run into, I mean, their idea of a sales process is I'm going to go. I mean, whatever way you're going to say it, but it's the equivalent of I'm going to make some flyers and hand them out, and the people will come in, and then we're gonna get rich. I mean, like that's you know, in short. So now you may replace that with, well, I'm gonna run ads on social media, or I'm gonna, I'm gonna run Facebook ads, or I'm gonna go to a networking event and make a pitch. Um, it's so that's one step of marketing. Actually, that's a lot of that is promotion, advertising, which is we're going to talk about marketing in a separate episode. But those are the things where we discuss in the accounting realm. We talk about bookkeeping and accounting. So bookkeeping is kind of like a component of accounting.
Mm-hmm.
So handing out flyers or doing your Google AdWords and doing that is a component of marketing, and marketing is a component of business development.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more it's spread wider than a real simple, like and no matter what business you're in, there is a sales. I guess we go with sales plan. That's what we just discussed yesterday. There's a plan. I guess sales plan is a plan to get how you plan to get sales. I mean,
So let me back up for a second, right? The plan is the plan is the plan, but there's a cycle. There's an organic cycle. There's a
oh
natural
yeah, I switched.
cycle. Yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem. So there's a cycle, and there's 7 stages of what that cycle is, right? So you got
Ooh,
a prospect for those leads, right? Then how do you contact and reach out to those prospects or potential customers? Then you have to qualify them, right? Then you have to present your product. Then you have to overcome objections, close the sale, and then generate referrals or repeat business. So that's the organic process of sales. So now, based on what you're selling, product or service, what plan do you develop? Because your plan also is your capacity. Now, with technology in place the way that we are, so you have technology businesses, you have manufacturing businesses, you have, so is it man or men or women behind the screen, or are they actually in the field doing something, right? Manufacturing, landscape, construction, delivering products, the trucking companies, right? So, down to bakeries, restaurants, supermarkets, things of that nature. It all depends on what that product or service and the industry you're in is, how you curate your plan.
So let's do this. Just had a brilliant idea. Now, so you mentioned the 7 steps, seven steps of sales process or sales cycle, excuse me, sales cycle. And like most things, all of them may not apply to every business.
Correct.
Terms of it.
Correct.
So what I wanted to do is let's take 2 or 3 business types and take those terms and see what it looks like. Like, so for instance, let's start with, I'm going to start with basic stuff. Like you mentioned a landscaper. So a landscaper, what does their sales cycle look like? Or what would, how would you explain that to a landscaper to say, this is how you should approach your sales cycle?
So they're seasonal, right? So they have to generate the most revenue. They're going to generate most of their revenue. Well, okay, let me back up for a moment. A landscaper, specifically in the minds of a landscaper, especially if they're starting out, they're like, I'm going to go landscape some property, cut some grass, make it look clean, clean up, so on and so. So that's limited to seasonality, right? Okay. In essence, it can be a 12-month business, or it should be a 12-month business. Leaves, snow, if you live in that type of area, right? So what I would say to a landscaper is, first of all, we have to identify what's your target area. More importantly, who are your competitors in that area? Because at any given time, you got 3 or 4 landscape trucks on the same street or in the same area, right? And so then we have to identify what your offer is. Not necessarily the price point yet, but what do you offer? What's going to be different about your service? So then you could justify your price point, because you can underbid and you'll have a market for those people that say, oh, his price is cheaper. But then he may be cutting you along with crappy blades because, and the grass may not flow properly, going this way and going that way. They may not edge you out correctly, right? So what is going to be, and that's where you come, we call that your strategic plan. Right. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, so that's right. And mind you, we kind of expanded this to talk about the business development aspect, because a part of that is identifying who you're cutting for. That's a marketing activity.
Correct.
But yes, go on with that. So you got that, you got your MVP, your minimal viable product or service, MVS happening. So now I got, I'm doing the marketing. What is the sale? What does it look like going into the 7 aspects or 4 aspects or 3? I don't, you know what I'm saying, of the sales cycle. So
so if I'm introducing, if he's introducing to the neighborhood, he's trying to get new business. Number one, hey, let me introduce you to who I am and my company. Right, here's my company card, whatever. Right. Hey, we're a landscaper in the area. Do you currently have a landscaper? Yes. So are you happy with them? Yes. Oh, okay. Well, if you're interested, please take this information. We'd love to come by and actually do a walkthrough with you of your property.
Okay. So in the sales cycle, what is that? Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that lead qualification? Like I'm trying to map it.
Okay. So that's lead qualification.
Okay, so that's
right?
lead qualification because you're
Correct.
going in and asking the questions.
Correct.
Who is this person? Now, I think
Correct.
this. I think I want to cut this person's yard,
Correct.
but let
But you
me
got to qualify
get
it.
a conversation
Correct.
and see what's going on. Okay,
Correct. Correct.
so now, and maybe we do it this way because let's see, you had 7, right? So it was
Yeah, 7.
lead
That's correct.
generation we talked
Mm-hmm.
about,
Mm-hmm.
which is lead
Mm-hmm.
qualification.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next?
So we got presenting your product. So that's where it say, hey, I would love to do a walkthrough of your property, right? So presenting your product is actually B of A. A would be identifying the pain points,
Mm-hmm.
identifying the needs,
Mm-hmm.
and
But that's you doing that in the lead qualification stage.
you still correct.
Yeah.
But the lead qualification stage says I could drive by and say, oh, they qualify for our service because look at their lines.
Okay.
Look at their landscape. Check
Mhm.
mark. They qualify as a lead. That's an internal thing. They qualify. They meet our parameters. But do they fit
what we do? But so is
Right.
that a separate step or is that still in the lead qualification?
That's in between, and that's what I'm saying. So in today's time, things are a little bit different. So that the life cycle of sales, if you Google it, that stuff hasn't really changed much in terms of what the Google answer would be. But that but identifying the pain points and the needs is lead qualification just before the presentation of the product gate.
Okay.
So it still falls into the lead qualification, but it's an A-B thing.
Okay. So well, how about this? We're gonna take the Corey definition of them.
Okay.
And saying so we ain't got the A and B. So we saying, hey, lead identification. You identify, okay, they need their lawn cut. Okay. So we could put qualification. We'll see if we're qualified to cut their lawn and if they're qualified for us to cut their lawn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we're going, you said presentation of service.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next one. We talked about that. That's the walkthrough.
Correct.
See, so on and so forth. Okay. So now I presented my service. I put the pen down on the paper or on the table. So what's next?
Overcoming any objections.
Okay. So now it's well, I don't know. I just bought this land. I just bought a brand new lawnmower. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but my neighbors, they all look so good. But I don't know, man. Maybe if I just, but I just bought this lawn. I bought a brand new riding lawnmower like that. So dealing with that. But I guess so then you overcome the objections.
That's the long process, because overcoming objections is no one likes to be rejected.
Yeah.
And that's where your skin gets thick when you have been in sales, business development for so long, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So overcoming objections. So the next piece to that is closing the sale. So first, you got to overcome the objections, then you got to close the sale. They're like 2 different steps.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to go down this path because and then there's actually a decision. There's 2 paths because you may not be able to overcome the objections, and then you close the opportunity, but then you can also keep them in what a term I've heard is a tickler, like you check back with them,
put them back in the top of the funnel, because now we get into like rabbit hole conversation, because it can be a matter of timing.
Yeah. So, but we'll get to that. Now we got so you got this, but let's say closing the sale. So now we close the sale, and then that's so on. So that's a process. And then we close the sale, and then we go on to onboarding, production, billing, so on and so forth. All right.
Correct.
Cool. So this is wonderful. This is wonderful. So what I want to do is say, okay, that's with a service. How does it look for a retail product? So something, you got a store, you sell cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, or ice cream or a restaurant. You know, your marketing has gotten them there. The attention is there. And the marketing could be like they're walking down the street, they see you. That's probably a better example,
Mm-hmm.
where they're like, ooh, or they go in your retail store. They say, ooh, this place looks good.
Mm-hmm.
How do we take Corey's sales funnel? How does this apply in a retail type situation?
It's all the same. Now you tapping into each process. So prospecting the lead, they're walking down the street and they see the store and they're like, oh, that's a prospect. They walk into the store. They didn't walk in, look around, and walk back out within let's just say 2 to 3 minutes.
Mhm.
You qualified them, but they qualified themselves by staying in the store. Now
Mhm.
they're walking around. Now they're asking questions, right? And I'm glad that you just asked me this question because I saw a picture, and I'm gonna send it to you, of the store that had a it was like a panel shelf,
Mhm.
and excuse me, the store baskets, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So one side was one color, the other side was another color. The left side says, and the baskets were the same color as that side, right? So it
Mhm.
says, if you're carrying that color basket, it's an indication that you don't have any questions. You just
You
want to
just
walk
going to
around.
get your stuff. Yeah.
And the other side was, please bother me because I have questions for
Mhm.
you, right?
Yeah, I get
Right?
that. I
Right?
get
So
that.
smart, that's smart
That's pretty
stuff, right?
smart.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna send you that picture too, right? I
Yeah,
was like, so
that's clever. That's
so it's the same, but now understanding any storefront in terms of anything that's relatable to food or clothing, any type of materialistic things, it's still the same stages, but the product is qualifying the individual through an emotional take.
Mhm.
So for
Mhm.
like restaurants, it's the lighting, it's the smell of the food, right? It's music, it's the host of the people, it's the energy, the vibe when you walk in, how they greet you, and they like,
Mhm.
oh wow, this is great. Qualify, boom, and they go through different qualifiers. Now, what a lot of people don't know is restaurants, and it's not restaurant workers and such. When you take somebody through the appetizer, through the drink, through the main course, and through the dessert, that's 5 stars. Because the whole objective of the restaurant owner is for them to have the experience of all of those on the menu.
Yeah.
Or ice cream place, they get ice cream, they get a shake, they get sprinkles, they get something else to go with
Cookies.
it.
Yeah.
Cookies, right?
Whatever. Who knows?
A Subway place. You buy a
Yeah.
sandwich, a drink, potato chips, and cookies. You took them through the process. So that's where that qualifying aspect comes in.
So so in the case of food, because food is a good one.
Hmm.
I was hesitant, to go there because that one is. But
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
people, those of us watching that aren't in the food business, we all buy food,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
could relate to it. So in essence, you could say that the sales process or the sales funnel happens in the case of a sit down restaurant 5 different times
correct,
because it starts. Can I get you something to drink?
correct,
Now we already
correct,
know. I mean, you thirsty, whatever. But all right, the question is this a soft drinker, a water only, or they
right,
want something from the bar?
right,
Then you got the appetizer.
right,
Then you got the entree.
correct,
And you got the dessert.
correct.
And then to a certain extent, you also had the tip. So
And the take home, because sometimes people go, I'm gonna take this home with me. Let me
yeah,
order that. I'm gonna
or
take
I'm gonna
that with
place
me.
a to go order. Yeah,
Yeah, correct,
it
correct,
was so good
correct.
that, or there were two things on there. I got
That,
one of them. It was
right,
I really want to try the other one.
correct.
So in order to execute that, so then in that scenario, that then the server is the business development person.
Correct. He's all of those things because he's the sales, he's the business development, right? He's the deliverable person, production,
Yeah.
right? Fulfillment. He's also the customer support, but he's backed by this name. You know, the name on the cups, the table, the cloths, all of that stuff. Yeah.
And then, you know, but then based on the management structure of it. So
Correct.
So that's interesting. You know, all this stuff is on my head too. But
Yeah. So that's been my, but see, that's the Corey recipe to my, I mean, you know, my I guess we want to call them wins. I've had wins. I've had a lot of wins. I've had great wins, but my wins is really about making sure that the people are satisfied with what is being delivered.
Being done. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so they can keep coming back. Because it's not about the one win, it repeat.
Yeah.
But then
it's off the development. That's how you building, you know. So now it makes sense what you're saying, that sales for the sake of sales. Back to what I said, that's street vendor. Yo, son, you need some underwear or something? Like, yo, I ain't never gonna see you again. Yo, I got a good deal. When you sell out, you might be out of business. I don't know. Yeah, you know, and I've had that. It's different people back in the day.
We from up north. So
yeah, you be like, yo, I wonder if my man's still on X Street.
yo, I got this Rolex for you, right? Yo, just give me $250. It's a $5,000 Rolex. He done paid $5 for it in Chinatown. You're probably not gonna see him again.
Yeah, you ain't gonna see him again.
So that's an example of hardcore just sales where it's a stop.
Right.
I just need to sell this. Yeah, I need to sell this because I gotta live, I gotta eat, I got people to take care of. Let me go get my bread. I don't care who I hurt. Right? Yeah. And that's that. No, we can't do that.
Yeah. So when you get in a professional or you running a business, unless your business is that, you know, that's like, so wait, but I think the part is interesting. I mean, really the restaurant part is something it just changed. I mean, I'm just accustomed to saying no. So it doesn't matter what they say. I'm like, nah. But to really look at it as a business owner, like, man, that's it. Even in a fast food aspect, when you have the young people with their less than enthusiastic asking if you want to upsize, you want to supersize it or whatever, and you want to supersize that, and be like, yeah, really, I'm so excited that you have really made me want to upsize. So I mean, you like, you know, but I think it's realizing that as an owner, that your people all have that. They all touch it. So we're circling back to the original point. And I think the restaurant part can really illuminate it. So Corey word, illuminate it, because when you go to a restaurant, now this is not, I've been here before. This is not when you go to a restaurant under duress and you're not quite sure that you can afford the bill anyway. So you already looking at the bottom of the menu and you don't want to know, can I get you something else? Nah, I'm good, because you.
I'm glad you said that. But a restaurant owner has to know that. Yeah. Because there are people that come into the restaurant that are already like price conscious. But they need to get out with their significant other, their family. It's a special occasion. And so imagine you creating a situation, because you know that you're being proactive and people feel welcome no matter how deep their pockets are.
Yeah. And that's business development, man. This is more robust than I had even intended it.
Well, because if we remove all of this stuff, the only thing that we're dealing with is people. We're only dealing with people and the nature of people at the end of the day, no matter what industry, no matter what. But food is the intimate thing, because this is what we put into our mouth. When we say we're going to go break bread with somebody, we're either building a rapport or we're enhancing a relationship.
Yeah. So it's
through food.
Very intimate.
Yes.
Like tax preparation.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like, so yeah. All right. So no, this is great. I mean, you know, all you fans out there, Corey's taking questions, you know, email them, because the next part is really important. Okay, so we've defined business development. We said, okay, this is what business development is. We've given examples of business development. So my next question is, all of us are doing, if you're in business, you're doing it, but what steps should I take to make it a system? How do I move from I'm just out here to a system? And I want to do it similar like we did the example, not necessarily theoretical, but just, what do I need to do first? And I know part of it is you need to change the way you think about stuff, but what do I need?
So I can give you the 10 components of that, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
It can go flush either way. But look, again, if we go with the Google answer,
yeah,
right, and then you get over to whatever you call.
I want the Corey answer though. I don't want
you want the
I want Google answer. No, because we went through the example.
Right, so okay, cool. So where do I start? It's kind of like what you're asking me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you got to understand your why. Most people say vision and mission, right?
Yeah.
You got to have a vision and mission. Yeah, you should, but you can't have a vision and mission if you don't understand your why.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you even doing what you're doing?
Place?
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I doing? Why am I doing
this? Number one. Number two, when you come up with some sort of understanding of your why, is your why going to be strong enough to carry you through that commitment?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you have to ask yourself ask yourself and understand what is your pressure points, because your why needs pillars of support, which is going to be your commitment level and your ability to handle pressure, because you're gonna face pressure that you probably never even faced in your life, especially if you have responsibility of people, family, and employees and staff.
Even going, because the system, by putting this in the system, at some point you're going to have to give up control, which actually increases your pressure, because it really does.
Well, because you go, my why is, you know what, I worked here, this, that, and the third, and they gonna tell me how much I need to be paid, or I fell into a recession and I lost my job, I'm under pressure, I have a skill set, I have a hobby, I'm good at it, let me go and start a business. And so people use the tabletop whys, which is it's a start, because a lot of people don't even start, right? It's a start, but you got to have your commitment, your true understanding of commitment underneath you. And then you have to understand your pressure points, because no matter what kind of pressure you've been through in life, because we've all had pressure moments and we've all gotten through it, but at what cost? Where? What was the mindset at that point? So it's important to understand your why. And then once that why you have a pretty good solid footing of that why, then you break that into two pieces, your vision and your mission, because your vision and your mission has to be carried out to your stakeholders, your shareholders, right? You may not have getting money from people, but you got people that supporting you, family, friends. Now, what you gonna start a business and do that? What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So now you take those things and how do you pour them into your sales process?
You got to decide on your target market. Right? Who are you going after? Then you have to have a prospecting strategy. So I come from ground roots. There's online, there's marketing, social media, it's this website, all of that. Okay, but you have to define who your target market is, and you have to define what the needs of that market is.
Needs assessment.
Yes.
Very
no sense in you dropping you're a gas station. You taking a drive and you exit off to get gas and you have 4 different gas stations in one area. Like, which one I'm gonna go to first? The smart one would say, I'm gonna position myself so they don't even have to turn around and go across the road. They could just get off, get what they need to get, and get right back on the highway.
And that's part of the, and they do it. I mean, that's
yeah.
Is say certain industry, the way they set up that certain gas stations.
Certain brands do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know they're on certain, like in an east-west scenario, they put them
Correct.
all on the east side or
Correct.
whatever, where people
Correct.
tend to be. I guess they know people tend to buy gas on the way home against
Right.
on the way to work. So
Correct.
things like that. And
Correct.
that touches the marketing part, which
Correct.
people don't realize. Like that's what marketing is.
Then they get
And
into the McDonald's and the Burger Kings at the gas station, the Subways and the
yeah,
Wawas, and you know what I mean, things like that. Yeah.
yeah. So then while we get there, so well, what I do want to do, and then we get into the process we said. So what about I'm already in business.
Yeah. Okay.
I've
So.
done that.
Mhm.
How do I change my approach to maybe I'm right now it's just on luck blind. I mean, you're not luck, but I mean I just say. So how do I change my approach? Are there any tools out here
Oh,
that
there's a
I
bunch of tools, but before we get to the tools, you're already in business, and so you pure luck. You started the business, you making some money, right?
yeah.
And we run
Mhm.
across that every day, right? Okay. So then I'm going to say, well, what hats do you wear, right? And then you'll tell me what hats you wear. Then I'm going to say, do you have job descriptions of those hats,
Mhm.
right? And then you say no, and then we got to put together a job description. Then we're going to say, do you have your SOP in place? What is your process of executing each one of those hats? Because the only way to increase your vision and mission, make it stronger, and to put people in place, whether they're staff or consultants or outsourcing, right? You have to be able to tell them what you do and how you do it.
Mhm. So but I don't know what I because I'm trying to get what I'm saying I'm piping back to the sales thing. I want to make that a system in my business. I don't have that person. I don't know that I heard this live stream. Yo, I'm on it. I'm calling Cortastic Consulting.
Oh, if you call me, we're gonna go through the exercise and get it done.
So is
I
that
don't want to give all the ingredients away,
and
but
I'm saying, but
but
is
it, but
that the answer?
but
Call something.
well, no, that's not. I mean, because there's a lot of DIY folks out there, right? But
Yeah, that's
what I will say is, if you are already in business and you're generating revenue, right?
mhm.
Okay. If are you the salesperson?
Most times, yes, they
Okay.
are.
Are you delivering the product or the
Oh,
service?
most times,
Are
yes.
okay. Are you okay now? You're delivering, you're billing, and your customer support, correct?
Yeah, I'm every woman is all in me.
Okay, cool. Now, watch this. Your sales hat needs a job description and your process and how you do it. That's your first modal apparatus before you could create a sales plan
Mhm.
because you're already engaged in business. We could circle back to those other elements. You've already have you're selling, so you have, whether you're paying attention or not, you have a market, you have a target market. It may not be specific, may not
Yeah.
be defined, right? But
Mhm.
first thing I would say is write down the job description of what you do and how you sell. I get up, I brush my teeth, take a shower, get dressed. Not all of that information. I'm just saying, you jump in the car, you put on your GPS, and you say, "All right, I'm gonna drive down 95 today, and I'm gonna look over here." That's the sales process. And then I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna go east and come all the way back north, and then by the end of the day, I'll end up back home. If that's your sales
Yeah,
process,
just whatever you do that's making it happen right now.
correct. So job description, hey, this is who I sell to, this is the product and service, this is how much I make. Boom. SOP, standard operating procedure. Here's my process. I do this, that, and the third. Boom. Right? Now, the last piece to that, which I think a lot of people miss, your client or your customer that is happy or satisfied with your service belongs to your marketing and sales.
Mhm.
That experience belongs to that. That's
Mhm.
what you drive. That's what you're going with.
So you
Because at
saying
the because at the
well,
end,
just to
mhm,
clarify that.
yeah,
You're saying it belongs to the marketing and sales, or is because of the marketing and sales, or it is their
no, but
experience is marketing and sales. That's
their experience it belongs to marketing and sales because they're satisfied. So okay, are you gonna go in business? Look, Let's use what you call the yard sale.
Mm-hmm.
You have a yard sale once in a lifetime. People come, they buy, and they're satisfied and not, but you don't care. You want to get rid of this stuff, and instead of you throwing it in the garbage, you're giving it. You have a price
Yeah,
tag on it, right?
get
And
it up
so
out of here.
that's an example of the satisfaction doesn't belong to that front end sales because you're only doing it once in your life. But if you're going to continuously be in business and you're going to generate and you need to scale that business and you're going to create other avenues of revenue, the experience of that customer belongs to the marketing and sales because 20% of your 80% of your customer base is going to be the ones that fund the baseline of your business because you have upsell and you have repeat business from them. So if you don't not defining your sales plan from the experience, that funneling process, from that experience for your marketing, your sales.
Yeah, so it's a Pareto's rule. So
Correct.
80% of your revenue comes from 20%. 80% of your headaches come from 20%. So that's how that 20% is reflected. I understand. I'm just
Right.
fleshing it out.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
The 20%, that great customer or client experience, a positive experience. If you're doing a contract for a corporation, having it easy for someone to work with you, easy for them to pay you, as seamless as it can be, that's a core piece of your marketing. And henceforth the marketing leads to sales, and that's our business development relationship. So
to answer your other question, tools,
yeah,
software. You got to have a CRM.
That's what I was about to take it next.
What is a CRM, Corey? So
what is a CRM?
Customer relationship management system. CRM. What is the purpose of a CRM? Well, guess what? You're not going to be, for those that are managing their business off their cell phone, whoa. So they're emailing you, they're texting you, you're calling you. I mean, no. A CRM is, it's your home base, it's your foundation, it's your headquarters, it's your bank account, it's your bank vault, it's your safety deposit box to all of the information about your customers or your prospective customers. Name, address, phone number, email. Okay. Now we get into certain industries, say date of birth. Because if you send them a, hey, happy birthday, anniversary, happy anniversary, right? Or you're a veteran, or you're this, or you're that. You can automate your sales to pick up on those tags or those characteristics. And the name of the game is to always stay a household name. That's how branding is done. A household name. So you go with a logo and a name, and eventually down the road, they recognize your logo. How many people recognize the swoosh? And they go, oh, yo, that's Nike. Boom, I'm about to go get that. Yeah. Right, without even thinking about the word, right?
What it is.
Yeah. So if we look at the success of those bigger companies and we go back to their earlier days of how they did things, we'll understand how to develop the sales plan and why certain fundamentals, even though we're in the technology stage of the world right now, certain fundamentals don't change. So CRM is important, customer relationship system, right? And there's a lot of different CRMs out there. You can holler at me and I'll tell you, my top 3. But and I have one that I prefer, but I got 3. I got 3 that kind of fits different targets, different people, different industries, and different needs. But having a CRM is super important. That's your first thing. Then your second thing, what's important is your calendar.
Interesting. Well, especially in the services, something with services. Well, I guess even in retail too, because it's when you open and close, when
gotta have it. Well, because there's always things. Whether you got product or service, there's always behind the scene things that need to happen, right? Yeah. So having your calendar, utilizing your calendar is super important, not only for making appointments and with prospective clients or customers or whatever you call them.
Campaigns too. Yeah.
but you set aside time to work. Now, this is for a lot of us that working in our business. You set aside time to work on the business. You take things out of your head. You set deadlines. You use your calendar as your leverage in your personal. I mean, I think I've exhausted using my calendar to no extent, you know, until the point where now you need somebody to talk back to you, right? Which would be an assistant or whatever, right?
Yeah, you need a collaborator, because I mean, you can start with yourself, you know.
Yeah,
and you start answering yourself, and that gets a little weird. So.
Yeah, and and then you have to make sure you have some sort of customer support software, right? So, you know, we call it tickets in our world. So there's a ticket for a customer that has a question, concern, or complaint or whatever, right? Then you have to be able to, you want to keep that separate from your email.
Yes.
You know, don't email Corey at, email support at, or help at, right? Yeah. And if you look at the way websites are set up these days, they have only the support or sales, and most times it's client services, right, as the initial contact, because they send you somewhere else in the stratosphere so you don't touch production or revenue generation and things of that nature, you know?
Yeah. Wow. This is compelling. This is great. It took us a little while to get it going, though.
Hey, man.
I was joking. This might have been one. This may be one of the best ever. This was a very, very, very interesting episode. I'm saying, but I'm going to stop you so you don't give away no more free money.
I bet.
We're finna give away more money. So that's the thing. So they can reach out. This is a lead-in. We talk about Biz Therapy, which we've mentioned before. It's a coaching program headed by Mr. Cortastic himself. So it's in production. We are planning a live webinar. So a very live webinar in September. We say after Labor Day.
Correct.
So after Labor Day, we are planning. Oh, there you go. Very good information. Very good information. You're getting rave feedbacks here.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? That's like, well, soon we'll put up the thing for people to be able to leave tips. And we might only get the tip. Don't give away information for free, but who knows? That might be the tip we get. But in September, we're planning a webinar to discuss Biz Therapy, which is a coaching concern to teach people how to run their businesses, whether you're pre-revenue, startup, years in, not making any money and don't know why, you know, want to keep doing it but feel like there's a ton of bricks on the back of your neck.
So hold on, let me give you the skinny there, right?
Yeah.
Biz Therapy really it's for those, like he's saying, it's about seeing it through and showing up no matter what, right? Because if you're in business, Biz Therapy lends itself to help you figure out a way. So a way forward, right? What's the way forward? What is your goal? What is your current reality, right? What options do you have, and what is your way forward? And are you committed to that? And so Biz Therapy just has we have a roadmap that just helps you through. It's not about, you know, there's a lot of information out here. It's a lot of business coaches, not to take away from anything out there, but, you know, just from the lens of experience. And when you're dealing with people's true emotions and livelihoods and challenges and weaknesses and strengths, and you know, there is a certain rhythm. It's like music, right? There's a certain rhythm of being supportive to help people through. And you reach out, we'll talk about some more, give you some more insight, but that's
yeah. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is that I'm gonna pull up I'm gonna show people the Biz Therapy website. Right now, you can go to biztherapy.info, and we have a couple of happy. Okay, they're not actual Biz Therapy clients, but you know, we could say that. But real quick, it goes into detail about what's going on. You know what Corey just explained, and you know, some good information there. Very light. You can reach out and reach the gentleman there, and then you can be smiling like these two young ladies when you know, when you talk about your business. So that's what you want to do. Biz Therapy right there. So over the next couple of months, we're gonna spend a lot, but it's a program we've been working, and well, Corey especially has been working very hard on, and trying to work to get it together, put it together. But we are a couple of months away from actually releasing it and getting it out there. So that's what it is. So you know, so this episode has been kind of sponsored by Biz Therapy. Okay, so that's the Biz Therapy advertisement. So, but yeah, just to put, he talk technically, I'll talk. You know, I mean, we'll talk about a little something. You know, when we had the webinar, but it's a byproduct of the activity from the firm and seeing the need that many people come to CPAs first, which is great. But sometimes their questions go beyond tax and accounting,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you know, there's a difference between consulting and coaching. So consulting, you come in, I assess, I look at it, I give you a solution, I go bye bye. You know, but coaching is more hands on. There's a method to it. It's probably just like when you get you know, a personal trainer to
Mm-hmm.
work. I mean, you can work out on your own, but I mean, having that accountability to somebody makes it a little bit different. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
you know the
Well,
aspect of coaching is really, and yeah, we're doing another subject, but I gotta say it. Um, you know, coaching by someone that's has business experience beyond their coaching business is very good. You know, um, it's just good to have somebody that and might have made mistakes or is going through things like, you know, these things are their journeys. So
understand the understandings.
yeah, like you know, but I love people. I'm not gonna say it, man. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just saying, you know, I'm see,
Keep it clean. Keep it
see,
clean. Keep it clean.
yeah, man.
Understand the understandings. That's all.
I had to take Petty P. Petty P tried to show up in here.
No,
We had a great show, man. Petty P was about to come on. It's all right. We gotta get up out of here because you know I don't know
true,
how long I can hold on.
true, true,
So
true,
you wouldn't like me when I'm petty, like the
true.
Incredible
Uh-oh, here you go.
Hulk. So anyhow, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for bearing with us through our technical challenges, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with another exciting episode. But if you have any questions, um, comments on anything, any topics that you need some answers for, hit us up. LIVE at HeywoodCPA.com. LIVE at HeywoodCPA.com. And we'll probably I think we're going to put up a page too, so that for submitting questions, just it'll probably be HeywoodCPA.live. In fact, I know it will be because I think I got the URL. But so that's what it'll be. You go in, you know, light page, go and put questions, and we will answer them on the air like that. Pretty soon we'll bring people on. We'll be like, you're on the air with Corey. What's your question? So that'll be kind of fun. So anyway, it's been real. Enjoy your Saturday.
Peace.
Enjoy 2 weeks. We out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.